A very good morning to you from EANM TV. We are live at the EANM Congress here in Vienna. And just to prove that it's live, we are live. This is the time, although if you're watching catch-up, that might get a little bit confusing for you now. I've been joined by a number of people this morning, and we're going to be talking in a moment about health. Not your sort of physical health or anything, but the financial health of EANM. I've been joined by Wolfgang Wadsak, who's been the treasurer for the last few years, and also the new incoming treasurer is Alexis Vrachimis from Cyprus. So welcome to you. Good morning. Can you tell us how healthy are you?
Good morning. I'm very healthy. I feel very healthy, and
You're very colourful. Our people were talking to each other, and you know, we obviously clash a little bit, so we don't want to be too close. But let's be serious.
Yeah, but right. Colorful is always good, right?
Yeah. So in terms of EANM, it's been through a very, very challenging time the last few years. So you had probably the job from hell as a treasurer. How have you come out of it, and how has EANM come out of it?
Yeah. Extremely well, actually. So we were quite lucky in one sense. Lucky because the EANM is situated in Austria, and we got some help from the government here for non-profit organizations. But on the other hand, we were of course also very into it to overcome those times with all the measures that we can take from the office, from the board. We did what we can. And if you think back, a couple of years ago, we had like a loss in the association, quite significant loss. Actually, it was my first reporting that I had to give. So that was challenging.
So it started bad and it got worse.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it got even, or the prospect got even worse. Yeah, with COVID hitting us so fast, also without any forewarning. But then we overcame that, and now we're back fully.
So how did you overcome it? Because to have the strength, the solid base of any medical association is fundamentally important. So what was done, and how will that benefit members today and in the future?
Yeah, I think what we did was that we all the income that we could still secure, we put into only sustainable projects. We were sure that only those things that work also for the future need to be funded at that time. We reduced, of course, traveling. I mean, it was obvious for everybody. We could provide still online content at that time, and we clearly decided not to have a hybrid event because that would be financially a disaster. So we were
in what way?
Yeah, because you have the double costs, but still not enough people to really cover it. So it was either or, and it was clear then at a certain time point we needed to decide for the second year to also have a virtual meeting in 2021, which was a tough decision, especially for our Congress chair at that time. But still, it was absolutely necessary. And now we see that it was the right decision in the end.
So what are the numbers?
And the numbers are, at the moment, so for the last financial year, 2022, we have a revenue of more than 1.3 million euros. And that's the record-breaking result that we ever had. So it's as good as it can get. And I see, if I look around here in Vienna, and all these many people streaming in here into the rooms and enjoying the science, it will be equally good for this year, probably.
Are you familiar with the work of Mr. Micawber?
No, I'm not.
Mr. Micawber was a character, a Charles Dickens character, and it's a famous quote. I'm going to get the quote wrong, but you know, annual income £1, annual expenditure £1 and 2 shillings, disaster. You know, so you know you've got good revenue, but you know the costs under control. So there's a stability.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, so we know where we spend our money. We have, of course, investments, a lot of investments in education, obviously, because that is most necessary. We will also bring that also more up into investment into the young, and also those that are not even decided what to do with their future. So even before university or at university level. And also for our very young fellows and residents that have already chosen nuclear medicine as the field they want to work in.
So it really, this financial foundation really gives you more options.
Yes.
So you can be far more forward thinking about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, there is a lot of projects and ideas. If you ask all these volunteers in our society, they will say, I have a good idea, so we just need to streamline it and make sure that they also are in line with the strategy of the EANM.
So this is a role that you did on top of everything else. If you had your time over again, now you need to listen very carefully to this. If you had your time over again, would you do it again?
Yes, absolutely. No doubt about it. Yeah, it's so rewarding. It's
when you say rewarding, you don't mean financially rewarding.
No, absolutely not. It's for nothing. Yeah? I mean, in that sense, but you're sitting on the table of the adults, I always say. Yes, you can make decisions, you can influence what's going on, you have knowledge firsthand. You learn to know a lot of interesting people, especially also in the office, but also in the board, your colleagues. They are all very dedicated to what they're doing. And you know you're doing something good for our field, for our community. I
mean, it's interesting that you've been meeting a lot of people in the role, and we were talking last night on our first EANM TV show about the investment in young people, and you just mentioned that now. What would you say to young people who haven't yet got involved on committees and the like? Because older people, they know how valuable it is, but young people, they've got families, they've got their careers to establish. Should they find the time?
Yes, they should. I mean, there is no question about it. I have 4 kids myself, so I had a career to make, and all that worked out, of course, with the help of all the surroundings that we have. But still, it is your chance to really influence what's going on in the EANM, in the field. It's your chance to kind of actively deliver what you wanna put into it.
Okay, Alexis, you're a relatively young guy, director of the Department of Nuclear Medicine at the German Oncology Center in Limassol in Cyprus. Are you inspired by what you've just heard there, or are you now starting to think, what have I let myself in for?
Both. I have to be honest, it's both. Yeah? So, but let's face it, it's a first-class opportunity to further improve myself also. I consider myself highly motivated, and I have to give in this role. But also being able to sit in a table with all these guys of the board, being able to, let's say, make decisions that matter. It's an opportunity I didn't want to miss, and what I've said also yesterday to the General Assembly, it says something also for the democracy within the association that allows somebody like me to apply for a position like that.
It also says a lot about the trust within the organization as well, because I mean this role is absolutely fundamental to the success of the organization. What do you hope that you'll be able to achieve in your role? I mean, Wolfgang had a big task. He's now left it in a very good position. What are you going to do to make sure you don't screw it up?
So, first of all, I will take advice from Wolfgang. Yeah. Secondly, I will be in close contact with the office. That I think they're doing a magnificent work. Also spoken yesterday with Henrik, the CEO. So I'm pretty sure that they also won't let me to do something wrong. So they will guide me through, and I'm pretty sure that at the end we will not have to make a loan to survive.
All right. Yeah. How would you define the importance of EANM within nuclear medicine generally?
Yeah, it's the most important association worldwide. So and after also the restructuring and let's say the new areas of involvement, such as the Prague, so to the lobbying within the European Union, I think there are things that they might hear, let's say, romantic, but it's not that we are reacting right now. It's that we are shaping.
Yeah. I mean, Wim was talking about that last night, actually, about the importance of policy, engaging in conversations with Brussels and professionalizing not only EANM, but also nuclear medicine as a discipline. What are you most looking forward to in your role?
To learn and to give, actually. I have a lot to learn, so let's face it, I'm not yet in the position, so I don't really know what's coming.
Is there a cooling off period? Can he decide to change his mind?
No.
I mean, we've got to bring this to a close now, but with your background,
Yeah.
what do you think your medical background brings to this role?
Well, medical background, maybe not that much, because we're a lot of nuclear medicine physicians there. There's a lot of background.
But you understand.
Yes, of course. But on the other hand, in my current position in the institution that I'm working, I have a lot of admin roles to perform. Also a board member there, so the financial statements, it's not something that I will be seeing for the first time in my life. So in decision making, it will not be the first time that I will be in so in position.
Guys, thank you very much. Thank you for all of your work on behalf of everybody in EANM, and good luck with you. I hope, seriously, I hope it goes really, really well.
Thank you.
It's been great to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Well.
Okay, well, the other night at the drinks reception, I was going around talking to various people, really about their insights, observations about EANM, why they're part of EANM and the like. And it was very interesting because so few people actually wanted to talk to me on video. We had some very good conversations, but I finally found somebody who was prepared to talk. So he's a very, very brave man, has some really interesting insights to share. Let's take a listen now to what Oliver Kiss had to say.
Because the quality of the Congress and the participants, it's really enjoyable to meet many people from different disciplines, like nuclear medicine physicians, medical physicists, radiopharmacists and radiochemists. I'm a radiochemist, or more specifically a radiopharmacist. Being part of the development of a diagnostic and therapeutic imaging agent, I recently noticed on a social media platform called LinkedIn, many of you know that the guitar player of Duran Duran has been diagnosed with prostate cancer and has been recently received radiopharmaceutical theranostic procedure which cured him of that disease.
And you were part of that project?
And I was part of that project, but to be honest, I need to honor all the other people who have been involved in that project, because it's a multidisciplinary project that involved biologists, chemists, physicians, and without these people, this project would not have been possible in the past.
Oliver, great to talk to you. Enjoy the rest of the Congress.
Thank you very much, Roy.
And I think that's actually a very good example of so many stories of why people do what they do and they get so involved in it. Quite a few innovations at this year's EANM Congress. EANM TV is one of them, obviously, but also something called the Young Professionals Lounge. And I've been joined by Tim Wyngaert, who's involved in that and the setting up of it. Good morning, welcome. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Roy.
The first thing he said to me this morning was the day didn't start well because the coffee machine in the hotel didn't work, but so you're sorted now, which is good.
All good.
Tell us about the lounge. What is the idea behind it?
So the Young Professionals Lounge is, I think, a brilliant new initiative, because over the years we realized that for young professionals who may be attending their first EANM meeting, it can be kind of daunting to navigate it all, in particular if they want to meet up with their fellow young colleagues or peers. So that's why we decided maybe it's a good idea to offer them a protected space where they can just retreat, have a drink, have a snack, meet up, discuss with each other, share experiences, and most of all, start building those professional networks which are so essential in our jobs. A
protected space, that's an interesting concept, because everybody here is so warm, so friendly, so inclusive and so engaging. But I do understand, when you've got young people who meet people that they regard as being, leaders in their field, I mean, it can be extremely intimidating. What do you think the challenges are that nuclear medicine is facing, and how are young people being prepared for the future within this very dynamic space?
That's the million-dollar question. So nuclear medicine has always been in constant evolution, but these last years, it's really a revolution. We have seen accelerating. We have the onboarding of the radioligand therapies, all the challenges with the artificial intelligence that needs to be implemented or will be implemented in what we do. So basically, we need to rethink our education. We need to rethink our patient care. We need to rethink our patient advocacy. And for that, we just need brilliant young people because they come fresh from school and training, they have the new ideas, they have the skills, they have the knowledge, and they can act as a perfect bridge in making it happen.
I mean, do older people with seniority and authority, do they listen to young people? I mean, the reason I say that, I had a fascinating conversation with some orthopedic surgeons. It was a young guy who's really into virtual learning and artificial intelligence and stuff. And he was in his early 30s, so a young guy. And I watched how a lot of the old guard were just gathered round him and they were listening to him. Does that happen in nuclear medicine yet?
I'm not going to step on the minefield of defining what is young and not young, so I will dodge that question.
38 is up to 38. You're young, apparently.
I can live with that. But anyway, I fully agree with you. We need to listen, and that is what EANM will be doing in the next year and the coming time. We will listen. What can we do to help the young generation, attract them to join the exciting field of nuclear medicine, show that a career in nuclear medicine is equal to having real impact and how they can contribute and build together this exciting new future.
Right. What other initiatives are there? YIM is one of them.
So YIM is, of course, a great initiative.
Explain what it is.
So it is the Young Investigators Meeting. It is as such not new. The first edition dates back from 2009. Unfortunately, the last one was already 2016, so there has been some gap years, but I'm very happy to introduce that next year there will be another Young Investigator meeting, and it is really a dedicated small-scale meeting for young investigators in nuclear medicine, and really from across all the disciplines. So it doesn't matter whether you're a physician, a scientist, or a technologist, everybody's welcome. And there people have the opportunity to present their research and get feedback from experts in the field. But we went one step further for next year's edition because we also included some sessions on professional career development, presentation skills, and even some publication
insights. Which is something
insights,
I'm involved in.
Which you're involved with, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So what sort of feedback have you had from the people in your protected space?
That the drinks are excellent.
Oh, okay. No, you shouldn't say that. This is a professional environment.
No, honestly. Yesterday we had the first lunch talk because it's not
There's
just...
three of them,
There's three of them, exactly. It's not about just only about socializing. Sure. We also have dedicated programming on topics that are not necessarily scientific, but it's on work-life balance.
Well, that was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yesterday.
That was, yeah.
Today I will be sharing really my career journey and how I believe EANM helped me in attaining the goals that I set for myself. Tomorrow there will be another one on volunteering, how you can do it within EANM.
But that's a huge one. Mm-hmm. It's been brought up a couple of times already, and a lot of people who are young think, well, I haven't got the time for that, but it's...
Well,
do
I tend to disagree. It's all about setting your goal, and if we can show what it can bring to you, how we can help reach your goal, then it's up to everyone to make the balance. Is it worth it? But I'm fully confident it's worth it. And it doesn't mean that if you volunteer for one thing, that you need to do all the work.
Excellent. So. All right. Tim, it's been great to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for coming in, especially at this time of the morning, because it is without coffee,
exactly.
Indeed. He hasn't done badly, really. So thank you very much. We'll bring our next guest in, but while we do that, I'll tell you that I'm doing a session at lunchtime today, which was originally for the Youth Forum, but anybody is welcome to it, and that is called How to Be Upbeat in a Downbeat World. So thank you, Tim. If we can ask Arturo to join us this morning, so hot seating and hot miking. So one of the things that we've been doing is talking to past presidents, and Arturo is a past president from 2015 to 2016. Now that surprises me. It's such a long time ago. Welcome, a very good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got a video of you back in those days. So let's take a look at the video, shall we?
I do really hope that you really enjoy the Congress, and again welcoming both of you with the whole EANM Board. Thank you for your attention.
Who is that young man, I ask myself? How would you describe how EANM and nuclear medicine has evolved and changed since like 8 to 10 years ago?
Yeah. But, I think that we were really able to improve what has been done. So what I really like on what happened is that we were able to, in those years, we were able to change the EANM structure, and I'm very happy that changes are now reflected in the health, as you discussed before, of the association. So the association is at a very high level from a scientific point of view, but it's also financially sound, which it's very important. So
to have that and be a world-leading meeting for this Congress and
yeah.
stuff. So all of those sort of rocks were put into the right place at the right time and stuff. So we were chatting in a room. We've known each other now a long time, but we don't see each other that often, as is the case for, I think, a lot of people who come to the Congress. And we were talking about how you juggle a busy life. How many jobs have you got, and how do you juggle it?
I have at least 3 official jobs, and then I am a very happy husband and very happy father. Besides the job, I have a nice family. And, you have to be creative and try to prioritize things.
But how do you manage to stay on top of it, not be overwhelmed by it, and still be effective and productive and nice?
You have to work, and you have to learn some tricks and be very fast and effective.
All right.
But this is something that you learn with the time.
Right. You have your academic career as a professor, but you're also the editor-in-chief for the journal.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what that involves and what you think that may have contributed, A, to nuclear medicine, and B, to you.
But, it involves a lot of time, a lot of attention, a lot of dedication, a lot of nights, weekends that you have to devote to the journal.
So your children say, "Who are you?"
No, sometimes they come to me, they play while I'm working. And of course, the journal has the peculiarity that you are never free. So that means it's every day of the year you have to look out what is going on in the journal. So there are no Saturday, no Sunday, no Christmas, no Easter, nothing. But anyhow, it's a job that you can do if you like it. Otherwise, it's a waste of time.
All right. So you get the biggest picture of what is happening in nuclear medicine because you get all of the papers.
Yeah.
Where do you think the particularly interesting developments are?
So we are now, nuclear medicine is based on 2 major things, technology, and now we have a lot of improvement in technology, not only in the scanners that we are using, but also in the way we produce radiopharmaceuticals. And of course, the other big development is in the radiopharmaceutical for diagnostics and therapy. And of course, then people, so the skills of the professionals that are working in that are evolving, and we are doing our best again this morning. You talk with them to involve the young professionals, the brilliant professionals, in order to give more power to our discipline.
I mean, I've heard that there were a record number of abstracts.
Yeah.
I mean, are you getting a record number of submissions to the journal? And how do you manage that?
So we have a peak during the pandemic because everybody was writing something on what is happening with COVID. And now we have a really high number of papers coming in. Again, you have to be very effective and creative. You have to sniff when a paper is good or not.
But how do you know that? I mean, the instinct is one thing, I guess, but all too often people get seduced by what looks exciting when in fact it lasts just for a couple of weeks and then they move on to something else.
Again, with time, you get the skills to be able to understand what is going to be, what is really interested, and what is going to be a changer, a game changer in our field. Of course, we made mistakes. We are humans, we are not perfect.
So the most important two words for any journal are impact factor.
Yes.
Notice how he responded to that.
Yeah.
I mean, it succeeds or fails on your impact factor. How is the journal doing?
The journal is doing very well. I have to say very frankly that I'm not an impact factor fan.
No?
No.
You're not supposed to be.
Yeah, you know, you have two strategies that you can do. So one is go after the impact factor, but I don't like rankings because so with a number, you cannot describe the activity that are beyond the journal.
Yeah.
So I really, and the editorial board is focused on looking at quality. You know, sometimes you have some niche applications that might not be highly cited, or they might be cited after the impact factor window, but they are very good science, so I don't care in that case. What I realize is that if you do this strategy, so looking for quality, then the impact factor comes. So again,
or quality comes too.
No, if
So
you
can
look for quality,
but the people with the quality papers, they're going to come to you, aren't they?
Although I'm not an impact factor fan, I realize that then the impact factor in a way reflects the quality of a journal.
Okay, excellent. Right, Monday, is there anything that you are particularly looking forward to seeing today? I'm putting you on the spot now, so you've got to go through in your mind all of the different sessions that are taking place. What interests you on an academic level or on a science level?
Yeah. You know, we're going to have in half an hour a session dedicated to the EJNMMI. So it's you, the EANM, and the EJNMMI, because we don't have to forget that EJNMMI is the EANM journal.
Yeah.
So we have to be really on the same track. And of course, then I'm going to go to the plenaries. And what I'm going to look is radiopharmaceutical development, artificial intelligence, and some technological developments. Yeah.
So how are those technologies merging? Because in other disciplines where I work, that's where the true magic is starting to happen. It's not the individual technologies, it's how they're being meshed. How is that happening in nuclear medicine?
You know, radiopharmaceuticals, I always say that radiopharmaceuticals are the core of our business. But now we have technology that allows us to produce very specific radiopharmaceuticals, and we have scanners that allows us to see very tiny lesion with the incredible spatial resolution and incredible temporal resolution. So I think that in the next future we will see improvements and additional changes in our field.
All right. Arturo, it's been great to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for coming in this morning, and I hope the session goes well this morning. Enjoy the rest of the day, and obviously the rest of the Congress as well, and make a point of seeing your kids. Arturo,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
Well, that's about it from us for today. We'll be back at 5:15 in Central European summertime later on. We're also live here in Vienna, so if you want to drop by to the studio, we'd be delighted to see you as well. And of course, you'll be able to watch us on Catch Up as well. So that's all from me for the time being. A little bit later on, we're going to be talking about the Sam Gambier Award, of course, and lots of other insights. So join us later on. Have a great day here at the conference.